on Colonial Sports Center. Basketball season comes to an end this weekend. See how both teams fare to their final Thursday matchups in the regular season. Women's lacrosse goaltender Jamie Keller discusses her career at Robert Morris. And RMU softball is off to their best start in program history. See what head coach Jack Sparta has to say about the team's early season success. All of that and more on a new episode of CSC.
From the RMU-TV studios, it is another episode of Colonial Sports Center. Tyler Gallo is always alongside Colby Sherwood. And Colby, we have a heaping helping of sports for everybody at home tonight, don't we?
That's right. It's going to be a great show today. Basketball season, regular season wrapped up. Softball hits the Pacific Northwest, and so much more.
That's right. And we'll start things off with basketball as both teams were in action tonight. And we're going to kick it over to the men's side, who's in action in the Heights of Kentucky this weekend as they took on the Norse. Actually, today they took on the Norse. And let's see how they did in that one. Unfortunately, they fell by a score of 78-64. Marquez Warwick with a 30-piece family bucket tonight, 30 points. The second time he's done that this season. Last time he did it was against Canisius back in November. Cam Ferris put up 14 and finally found his consistency tonight, but not enough as they fell by a score of 78-64.
It was announced today that the women's basketball team will be hosting a playoff game on Tuesday, but they have a chance to move up in the Horizon League standings tonight. Let's take a look and see. And they were able to as they won 57-50 against the UIC Flames. Jay McLeod dropped 26 points, Young with 8 points, Natalie Villaflor with 14 points, and Mackenzie Melia had 9 points and 3 for 4 from 3.
And while the teams were on the road this weekend, this week, they wrapped up a home slate last week. Both teams did. Men's basketball was in action last week against UIC. They took on the Flames. The Flames came to town, and RMU was hoping to avenge their last loss to them. Let's see how they did in this game. Starting things off in the first half, we're going to see Philippe Scobalds with the ball. He's going to dish some nice dinner inside to Demarie Franklin, who buries it for the first bucket, or the seventh point of the game. And then Brandon Stone inside for Khalil Spear with the slam. What a bucket that was. RMU trying to fight back in this game. Then we're going to move it forward. Jamie Hale in the corner. Some elbow macaroni. Drains it right there. And then wanting to get in on the action here is Jace Carter. He gets it in the corner and does exactly what Jamie Hale did from the same exact spot. UIC getting the slim lead, and we're moving to the second half now. Here's Michael Green, the third inside. Khalil Spear, another oop pass and another dunk. Khalil Spear is no stranger to doing that this season. We've seen it on top plays before. Then Michael Green, the third from way downtown, nails it. RMU running away with this one for a little bit. And then in the corner, Jamie Hale ties the game with just a minute left. 81-81 makes the fans behind him go crazy. They were visiting a hockey team in town from New Jersey. Michael Green, the third, hoping to bury one, trying to get it in, but can't. RMU and UIC are heading to overtime. We're going to need an extra frame to decide this one. Working overtime here. And then in the corner now, moving to kicking out. Jace Carter with the dagger. 90-83 the score. RMU could not buckle down in this one. Again outside. Demarie Franklin hits another one. Bang. Nails it from the outside. RMU falls by a score of 97-86 in this one.
After going on a 2-game win streak with the wins against Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Cleveland State, the women's basketball team was looking to continue to right the ship against the Raiders. Against Wright State, were they able to pillage and plunder the Raiders? Let's see. Starting off here, 4-2 in the UPMC Event Center. Channing Chapel going to give a nice pass to Destiny Jackson, and watch her hit this three. Bam, it's 7-2, the Raiders. Now watch Mackenzie Melee gives it to Natalie Villaflor. She's going to hit a three, and the Colonials fight back in this one. Moving on now. KK Wright, you're going to hear her name a lot here. ISO shot, bam, there's a three, and the Raiders continue to extend their lead. Now, Amalia to Villaflor drives the lane. Half is going to end here, and she's going to hit the bucket to give the Colonials their first lead of the game as they head to intermission, 28-27. Moving on now, 37-29. Castillo back to Sol Castro. This might be on the top 5 plays, and one. What a nice play there. Castro and Castillo doing work. And Amelia back to Alex Mostro, and the underclassmen are doing some work here. Colonials begin to extend their lead. And now it's Mackenzie Amelia's turn to hit a three, and she will. 51-39. Colonials pulling away here. But KK Wright would not go down without a fight. She has a nice dribble move here, pulls up, and she'll hit it. And the Raiders begin to fight back in this one, making it a close game. But don't worry, Sol Castro to Asha Kloffenstein to hit it, and the Colonials will pull away and win this one 63-54.
After winning 3 games in a row for the first time during their time in the Horizon League, women's basketball was once again back in action on Sunday as they took on Northern Kentucky. Let's see how they did against the Norse in this one. So moving things on early here in the first half, a lot of air traffic is starting things off from the corner. It's going to be Grayson Rose, a corner three, nails it. Northern Kentucky off to a very hot start in this game, as you'll see here in a little bit, up 12-0. Into the corner, it's dished over to Lindsay Duval, the transfer from Louisville a couple years ago. bang, nails that one. She is just unbelievable for this team. NKU is up 7-2 from the corner. Esther Cressito says, wait a minute, let me get one of my own. And she does that one right there. Lindsay Duval again. It's a stolen away from Alejandra Mastro. Buries the bucket one more time. RMU trying to fight back, down 8 here. Again in the corner, Lindsay Duval, she does not miss, makes no mistake, and gets another basket. Second half moving things on here. We've got Kamari Mitchell-Steen in the corner, gets the ball, wide open, makes no mistake once more time. Northern Kentucky really, really setting the tone in this game. Pulling away, 13-point lead, kicked out way, way outside. That is going to be another basket. NKU continues to run away. Nina Augustin inside for Alejandra Mastro, who makes a pretty finish there. Nice little inside score there. And then Esther Cressito from the top of the key hits one as RMU tries to fight back in this game. They're really struggling this one. And then another bucket wide open. NKU closes it out and wins by a score of 64-49. So when we come back, we have a lot of lacrosse, and you won't want to miss it here on Colonial Sports Center.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? You ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. After dropping the first 2 games of the regular season to Bucknell and Duke, respectively, the men's lacrosse team was finally looking to get their first win of the season. Let's take a look and see if they did. And unfortunately, they were not able to. They fell 18-14. Shots on goal, the Colonials did lead in that one, 31-29. The saves, though, did not go the Colonials' way, 17-11. Corson Keeley, the leading scorer, was 6, and Dylan Paulette was 6 as well. Faceoffs also went to Stony Brook, 20-15.
And while women's lacrosse was in action that day against Canisius after men's lacrosse lost to Stony Brook, we'll have to see how they fared in a matchup that hasn't really been kind to them in the past. 1-8 in their prior 9 meetings against the Golden Griffins. Let's see how they did at Joe Walton Stadium, their home opener. Taking things in action from the first half, Katie Smolensky is going to find some twine here, cuts in front and buries it, makes no mistake. Like I've said all night, these teams are doing so well at that. And then once again here, wide open, Caroline Nettie walks right in and nets another goal for Golden Griffins, who are really just running away with this game. They went on a really big run. Sarah Kilburn's going to continue that run here. 6th unanswered goal for the Golden Griffins. They call them the Golden Griffins for a reason, because they score a lot of goals. Then we're the inside here. Gianna Anthony snipes a free position attempt and gets the Colonials back in this one. They try to mount a desperate comeback in this. Moving on once again, it's Smolensky from behind, man up action, and scores. What a goal from Katie Smolensky, who has a couple in this one. Moving around the front, look at this unorthodox shot that somehow finds its way in from Bailey Christensen. The awkward angle, and she still buried it. And then we've got Gianna Anthony once again in front, getting it back. RMU making it close here late in the fourth quarter. Mackenzie Bell trying to do the same here. RMU trying to get back in. It makes it 15-11 with 2 minutes left. RMU wanting to get that comeback here, but unfortunately, Skylar MacArthur is going to seal it here on the free position attempt and bury it. The Golden Griffins win by a score of 16-11.
Staying with the women's lacrosse team after dropping the first 2 games of the season, as Tyler just said, with a combined score of 33-16, they were finally looking to get off the schneid and get their first win of the season. Let's see if they were able to. Starting off here in the first half, it's 2-0 here. Jenna Irwin on the penalty shot. She's going to take it. She's going to send a snipe into the net. It's 3-0 Colonials. Moving on now. to 57 seconds left in the first quarter. Bailey Christensen will score, and it's 5-1 now, Colonials beginning to pick up the lead. But the Titans would not go away as Kat Kuchma makes it 8-2. 8-2. Robert Morris continues to extend the lead, though, as they go on the man up. They'll score. It's 9-2. Colonials. Moving on now, 11-3 here. See the Titans move it around. They're going to be able to score, and they're going to get back in this one, 11-4. Moving to the second half now. Titans back with the ball. They're going to score 13-7. That was Elsley Hayter who will score the goal there. But Jenna Irwin gets the assist from Obi, and she'll score 15-7. Colonials continue to extend the lead, though. Marina Butler makes it 16-8 as the Colonials continue to pull away here, or as the Titans begin to score here. And now we're going to end it here. Gina Anthony with the shot, 17-8. Colonials, 17-9. Final score, Colonials get the win.
We played a lot better than we did on Saturday. We were way more organized. Everybody was dialed in and focused. We used a lot of people today, which was great. Our transition game was finally what we expected it to be. Saturday we were missing some gaps. Today we were hitting them on all cylinders just about. So we'd like to turn those more into fast break goals, but baby steps.
Finally, in her senior season, Jamie Keller got the starting position in net. Hope Beatty sat down with her.
As the women's lacrosse season starts to get underway, senior goalkeeper Jamie Keller takes the field as a starter for the first time in her collegiate career. Keller got her start playing lacrosse at the end of her 8th grade year with the Pittsburgh Premier Lacrosse Club. The senior goalkeeper says that hard work and work ethic are keys to success.
Ethic. You gotta work ethic and time management, because when you're playing a sport that literally consumes a good portion of your day, we practice close to 20 hours a week in season, and in our fall ball season, and then in our spring season, we go 20 hours all the way through. And I'm also a full-time student, and I'm very much involved. Sports just teaches you strong work ethic, because if you don't have a strong work ethic to get better, do better, and try harder and give 110%, you're not going to succeed in your sport. And that's the same way I take that into life as well. If you're not trying really hard, trying to understand material, or do the best you can at your job or whatever it is, you're not going to get very far. You're not going to.
Despite all the hard work and dedication that comes with playing sports in college, Keller still loves it.
My favorite thing about being a goalie is it's kind of odd. It's the same way of when you get a tackle in football, but it's the same thing. You get an instantaneous reward actually when you save a goal and are able to prevent the other team from actually getting a goal on you. Is there's something about the gratification from that's really nice, that I really enjoy. I think the other thing is just being an essential part, a very key part of the lacrosse team is being a goalkeeper. You're the last line of defense.
For Colonial Sports Network, I'm Hope Beatty.
And for more content like that one, like you just saw there, you want to head to colonialsportsnetwork.com or at RMU_CSN on Twitter for the latest in Robert Morris athletics news. We've got season previews, we've got features, and a lot more. So you want to head over to the website if you're really interested in Robert Morris athletics. When we come back, no team is on fire quite like this one on campus. Stick around to find out who it is.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. No team is hotter than the softball team. In fact, Tyler, I predicted them to go 55-9.
And third in the conference, Colby.
We don't need to talk about that. But they're off to their best start in program history at 9-1 on year. They traveled to Rock Hill, South Carolina. Let's take a look and see how they did.
Well, you know, Colby, on the first day of that invitational, they went 2-0. They knocked out Ball State and Albany, a team that they would become more familiar with over the weekend. They played Albany twice, but Ball State, 2 big wins for the Colonials. By the way, Anna Resnick, the freshman, batting .480 for the early part of her first season as a Colonial. Really good year.
That's right. Definitely great start to the Colonials for the year, but on the year, and definitely looking to be poised in the Horizon League.
That's right. And, you know, I had a chance to sit down today with RMU head coach Jex Varner, who has been witnessing these hot start to the season, and also as they, you know, fly out to the Pacific Northwest over the weekend. Let's take a look and see what he had to say.
Are there any questions that you asked? What was the best question you asked him today?
Well, you know, he was really happy with the preparation, you know, that the team has really put into, and I just asked him, you know, what's it like as a coach to see all these crazy games in succession? You know, they had a complete game shutout. They had a 14-12 game. They had 2 extra inning games, and really just a great, you know, weekend for RMU softball, and great 2 weeks in the Carolinas for RMU softball.
Not to mention his Twitter, which has been absolutely electric with comeback wins. He's been tweeting about that, just enjoying, just been really fun to see that so far.
It really has been. They've been really fun to watch, but also, you know, it's a testament to how good this team has become. You know, they went from statement season last year to summit season this year. That's their hashtag they're using, and they've become a really, really good team. So let's take a look to the mind himself to see how this team has really built that culture.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined here with Michael Deemer. Michael, RMU softball has gotten off to their best start ever. What are your thoughts on the early success of the program this season?
I think it's absolutely phenomenal that they've been to this hot start. It's the best start to program history, like you just said, and yeah, if they just keep having this kind of success, who knows what can stop them.
Yeah, you know, they got off to their best start before this was 6-4, most recently in 2012. I mean, this is an unbelievable just jump. I mean, they are so loaded with talent on both sides, hitting and pitching. I mean, it's just I don't think it's a flash in the pan either. We'll get into it a little bit later, but they are just an unbelievable team.
Absolutely.
So, Michael, who's the best player on the team in your opinion this season?
I'm going to say Anna Resnick. She's been absolutely phenomenal, batting .480 if you can believe that. She's leading the team in total bases, RBIs, any hitting stat you can think of. Timely hitting, like we've said, it's definitely contributed to the best start in program history for the Colonials.
You know, she's hitting .480 as a freshman, no less. I mean, I can't forget about Charlotte Grover, though. She was the Horizon League Player of the Week. She hit .357 at the Winthrop Invitational. You have Dana Vatakis, who pitched a complete game shutout to start the season. She has a 2.21 ERA. You can't forget about the Reinhardt sisters either.
Absolutely,
Rachel and Taylor, they have the 2 best ERAs on the team at 1.31 and 1.5. I mean, this team is absolutely loaded. Like I said earlier, I don't think this 9-1 start is a flash in the pan. I mean, they can win and win a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
So speaking of winning, last time RMU softball was ranked was all the way back in 1994. If the team continues this success, when do you think that they can be ranked, and how soon?
I mean, we might be a little bit biased here, but I think they should be ranked now. I mean, like a 9-1 start, who knows, like, who could even get in front of them and even beat them. Only 1 loss to this hot start. Honestly, I don't see why they can't be ranked now.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, we haven't been able to see the team play at home yet. But, you know, they have an 8-game trek in the Pacific Northwest coming up, where they'll play the likes of Oregon State and Washington. I don't think they have to go undefeated like they did in the Winthrop Invitational, but if they just continue to be solid and win games, whenever the team comes back home on March 11th for the home opener, they could at least receive some votes in the top 25 poll. Who knows? They could even be ranked if they have an unbelievable showing, which, I mean, that could draw some people to go to the games, because if they're even ranked for their first home game of the season, that would be unbelievable.
Yeah, how
Michael,
could you not?
Go ahead.
Sorry, Kevin, to cut you off there, but I don't see why people can't come to the games at the North Athletic Complex, like that place should be packed if they have this good start of the season.
Absolutely. Michael, thank you for taking the time to talk with me. We'll send it back over to Tyler and Colby.
Thank you, Kevin and Michael. Now moving over to track and field. They're in action this week in the Kent State tune-up. Let's see how they did. And Tara Goligreen, who's had an absolutely fantastic season, once again comes in first place with a hammer throw of 5.69 meters. Right, Tadero came in fourth in triple jump. Estelle Katende fifth in shot put, and Yessi Valencia fifth in weight throw. Now, when we come back, this terrific twosome is going to tell you the top 5 plays of the week. Stay tuned on Colonial Sports Center.
Bring it.
Shut up.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys. You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry. I'll see you later.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. Now, Tyler, this is my favorite part of the show. I don't know about you.
I do really enjoy this part of the show, Colby. Yeah.
So let's take a look at the top 5 plays of the week. All right, here we go. Top 5 plays of the week.
Here we go.
Number 5, we're going to send it over to women's basketball. Nina Gustin going to drive around, give it to Alexandra Montreal. What a layup over there, and she'll hit it, and the Colonials fighting back.
That one's pretty nice. Now we should show the women's side, but we're going to go over to the men's side for number 4. Now we've seen some top plays from the team over the season, despite it being a rough year. MG3 from the outside, the high arcing oop to Khalil Spear. Slammer.
Khalil Spear has been a highlight maker. Look at that once again. But let's go to number 3 here. As I said, you might see this as top 5 plays as Esther Casino and Sol Castro and one. Nice layup there. Colonials find a way. Look at that, a little no-look bounce pass, and Sol took care of the rest.
That's right. Now we're going to head over to Joe Walton Stadium for women's lacrosse, where RMU women's lacrosse was doing a lot of scoring in quick succession. We got Jenna Irwin, one of her 5 goals on the day, buries that one, and then 10 seconds later, that's right, you heard me right, 10 seconds later, RMU's going to do it again, and that's Colleen Tipp burying her first of the game, and she is going to get that 10-piece apart.
Definitely nice to see the women's lacrosse team get their first win of the year, but the number 1 play of the week. Watch this, MG3, Brennan Stone, Khalil Spear, another great dunk there.
Absolutely, some great ball movement, and that has been our top 5 plays of this week. I can't wait to see what we have in store next week. As we have quite a bit. But, you know, that's not all we've seen this week, as we have a lot more games in store. Cameron Macariola is going to take a look at what's the rest of the slate ahead for the Colonials.
We got a lot of action in store this week for RMU Athletics. Let's take a look at what's going on. RMU men's basketball will be wrapping up their season against Wright State at noon on Saturday. And also on Saturday, women's basketball will also be finishing up their season as they take on the top seed IUPUI Jaguars. On the field, women's lacrosse will be traveling to Bucknell after picking up their first win of the season. And men's lacrosse will be in search of their first win of the season as they will be in Georgia to take on Mercer with an opening draw at 11. Track and field will be in Youngstown on Saturday and Sunday as they take part of the Horizon League Track and Field Indoor Championship. Well, that's everything going on this week for Colonials Athletics. For Colonial Sports Center, I'm Cameron Macariola.
Thanks so much for that one, Cam. And like you mentioned, all the games that are happening this weekend, we're going to take a look at the ones we're watching. And we'll start off with mine. Now, this team finally got their first win of the season over the week, and I'm going to take a look at their game over the weekend as they take on Bucknell. That's right, women's lacrosse is my game to watch this weekend, as they, have sort of really done well this season. They've really turned their season around a little bit in the last game. They played really well against Canisius. That's my game to watch. My player to watch, Jerica Obi. She's having a really good year for this team. And as you can see here, Laurel McHale is the one player on Bucknell you're going to want to watch out for, having a very similar season to Obi. The last time these two teams played, RMU won at Joe Walton Stadium, February 29th, 2020. And of course, they're going to be traveling to Lewisburg to take on the Bison in this game.
That's right. Now, my game to watch has to do with the men's basketball team looking to continue to bounce back a little bit here. Let's take it on Wright State, looking to right the ship there. See what I did there, Tyler?
Come on, man.
They'll be playing Saturday at 7 p.m. in the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. Last time, Wright State won 75-73, so a close game. And this won't be that one was at the Event Center. Cam Ferris will be my player to watch, averaging about 9.3 points a game, nearly 2 rebounds and 2 assists. And Grant Bazile, about 17 more and 8 points. He's been fantastic for Wright State.
Grant Basile, last time he was here at the UPMC Event Center, really just went crazy. And, we apologize for some technical difficulties earlier with the softball team, but we want to give them their just due anyways. Let's take a look at their Winthrop Invitation over the weekend, how they did on the first day. They took on Ball State and Albany, like I said. They won 8-5 in the first game, and they came back in the second game and won by a resounding score of 62. And that's not, like I said, the first time they take on the Great Danes over the weekend.
That's right. Now, going over the second day, they absolutely destroyed Townsend in 5 innings, won 8-0. Then in game 2, Winthrop, they went into their home stadium, won 2-1, and then, just like you said, beat Albany 14-12.
What a game, and I thought football season was over. Look at that last one. There was a couple of 4-run spreads that they had to come back from in that game. But the game I want to really talk about, Kevin mentioned Charlotte Grover's Horizon League Player of the Week. They were down 1-0 going into the 7th inning at the home stadium of Winthrop, and shoots a leadoff home run to start the rally in that game, tying it at 1. The Colonials did the rest of the work there. It's really been a really good start to the season. It's a shame they didn't get any votes in the poll from the NFCA, but if they continue at this rate, they might get in there, Colby.
Definitely, it's been a great season to watch. Last year they were a fun team to watch. Definitely very nice to go down to the softball stadium, take a little seat. But Dan Vitage's been a great pitcher once again. That could start the season on a complete game shutout. Just the way you want to see it done.
That's right, and then they've been doing all of this without their leadoff hitter from last year, Christina Mala, the switch hitter, who's been injured all year. And you know who's filling in that situation? Elena Kutsajani, who's done a great job at a leadoff spot, Colby.
That's right. Now, we do have your interview, so let's take a look at it.
So, you mentioned the preparation and stuff like that. Do you think that's the biggest reason for the hot start, or do you think it's just everybody's really just hitting on all cylinders right now?
I think there's a preparation, and I think that goes from the way we've built the roster, the intent that we had in kind of the vision, Coach P, Coach Bonnie, Coach Nat, and I have all had in what we wanted to how we wanted this roster to fill out and what we thought would be the best for us. And then the women themselves just buying in. They had a great fall. They played really, really well, and we had a really good preparation in January and early February. And they're playing, obviously they're playing really well, but I think it is their work ethic and preparation has led to being able to go out there on the field and just play and just do their thing. And when they do their thing, they're really, really good.
And that's what we've seen so far this year. So, you guys have played in a ton of wild games to start the season. I mean, you've had complete game shutouts. You've had 14-12 games, extra innings and, go-ahead home runs in the 7th. I mean, as a coach, just like watching that, is it stressful to see some of these games, or is it sort of just like, oh my goodness, some of these games are happening?
It's one of those things. There's multiple layers to that. One is the girls joke all the time with us, like they're giving us gray hair, and I think the white in my beard is very much an indication of kind of that stress for sure. But we talk about a lot is championship programs, championship teams know how to win in a 1-0 ball game, and they can win a 14-12 just knock-down, drag-out fight. Yes. And we showed that obviously in our last 2 games at Winthrop were great games like that. And that's what's kind of cool is you start to realize these are the things you talk about, and you realize that you need to be able to do. You need to be able to win that game like that, but you also need to be able, when it's ugly, because that Albany game on Sunday was ugly from our end, and to realize that we can play an ugly game and still come out and win, I think that was big for our women to realize and boost some confidence for them.
Once again, special thanks for Coach Jax Varner for sitting down with me. Always a great guy to talk to. Always positive and upbeat about the team despite no matter what happened. But for Colby Sherwin, I've been Tyler Gallo. We'll see you next time on Colonial Sports Center when we come back next Thursday. Stay tuned and stick around for Colonial Sports Center again.